Today I've been thinking quite a bit about the immigrant crisis that has been in the news media a lot lately, obviously. And I was thinking, well, I should make a blog post about this. And then, of course, my mind went to, well, that's not really healthcare related, so it doesn't really pertain to my blog. But it does. And I'll explain that in a little bit. But first, I just want to start off by saying that what this really highlights, and so many stories that dominate our news media highlight this problem with America, and that is that people are letting mainstream media dictate their level of outrage. They're being emotionally manipulated to believe whatever the media wants them to believe. And I say that, I don't say that lightly. I really do believe that we live in a nation, a culture of emotionally weak people who have very little discernment, and their level of outrage is always controlled by the news media. Because right now it's like at peak level with this immigrant crisis. Like, everyone's mad, liberals especially, of course. They're just mad. And what I always find astonishing about this is, is it bad that children are being separated from their parents? Absolutely. As a father of 6, I would say, I wouldn't want that. Whether I was crossing a border illegally or not, it doesn't matter. It's bad that children are being separated from the parents. So I'll give them that. The problem is that they are standing on a platform of dead babies and status positions that separate parents from their children all the time, and then pointing at this one issue and saying this is the biggest issue in America right now, when it's not. It doesn't even... I really would love for all those liberals to come alongside us now and say, yeah, you know what, you really stand for parents' rights and you really value families. Let's get rid of compulsory education laws. Let's make sure that parental rights are not abused through medical kidnapping. Let's abolish abortion so that doctors can't rip babies from their mothers, because we keep hearing that, like, these children are being torn from their mothers and their fathers. Well, that happens every day. It's been happening for 40 years in America. So I'm really looking forward to all those liberals to come alongside us and start standing for those things too, or against those things. Of course, that won't happen because, as I've said before, they are emotionally weak. They've allowed mainstream media to dictate their level of outrage. And that, to be honest, that's just pathetic. Because injustices happen all the time in America. And I'm not saying that we should turn a blind eye to them. I'm saying just the opposite. I think that we need to be exposing injustices. We need to be doing what we can to remedy them. But at the same time, if you're passionate about this right now, but you weren't when it happened under Obama, or you weren't, and you aren't as passionate about making sure that no child is unjustly medically kidnapped, because that happens every day in America, then you're just a hypocrite. Then you don't stand on any moral high ground. What you say and what you do related to this immigration matter doesn't matter. You have no basis for your position. So, it kind of related to healthcare. I mentioned medical kidnapping quite a bit. I really wish that was something that actually did get the level of media attention that this immigration crisis has, because the impact is the same, if not worse. You have parents unjustly torn from their children. I personally know of a family who was in danger of losing their parental rights, really for no reason other than they questioned some of the practices that were taking place at the hospital where their child was being treated. And I'm talking about great parents. I mean, this is like top 5% of best parents that you could imagine. I mean, just loving, caring, taking care of their children, nurturing them. Great kids, great family, great parents. It's disgusting to me that those things happen, and they happen every day, and they never get media attention, where the government strips parents of their parental rights and actually does forcefully take children from their parents. It's disgusting. So until liberals show the level of outrage for those situations, which happen all the time, as they have been for this immigration crisis, it all falls on deaf ears for me. It just really does. It's just I don't know. It's just a show. It's just a show. And it's showing that they are emotionally weak and they're allowing themselves to be manipulated by mainstream media. Don't do that. Stop doing that.